actually told us we could look at the 9/11 hijackers because they were quote unquote here legally. Now think about that. Navy lawyers, no offense to the Navy, Jack, told us you guys are here. This is in 1999. This is a full 2 years before 9/11. Don't look there, nothing to see. And then when we tried then, because we couldn't look at it, to pass it to the FBI, lawyers again interceded, Jamie Gorelick and the Wall memo. So even though we had clear information that on 2 of the 5 cells, we, the military, had 2 of the 5 cells identified by personnel, we couldn't do anything with that because lawyers said don't look at it. So then the next best thing is to give it to the FBI, who could do something with it. And we were stopped every step of the way. And this is why Louis Freed wrote an article, an editorial, on the 17th of November, 2005. His question was, why did the 9/11 Commission ignore Able Danger? And in this article, Louis Freed said, had that information been passed to him, this is the director of the FBI at that time, he felt he could have stopped 9/11. So that's how significant this is, and I think why they went after all of us in 2005 to stop us from talking about this publicly as part of our whistleblowing to Congressman Kurt Weldon and the House Armed Services Committee back in 2004 and 2005.
Now, I want to just put a capstone on this before we talk about the sort of retaliatory efforts that you're describing here. So yeah. You're saying that essentially the military, and give us those numbers again, how many members of the hijacking cell were identified on these charts?
We used for the first time ever data mining as an intelligence tool that had never been done before. Of that data mining, the 3 terabytes of data we got from multiple sources used the profile of the 94 World Trade Center bombers as our kind of reference point, an algorithm based on them to find guys who looked like those guys. That's what we found. We found approximately 6 of the 19 bombers. They were distributed through 2 of the 3 cells. We didn't get them all, but we got enough. And if we had gotten 2 of the cells, I think getting 2 of the cells would have led to the 3rd. At least that's my belief. But again, it's not me saying that the information was important that just 9/11 had it been used properly. Louis Freeh said that. And I think that's the thing that people tend to forget at this point, is that we did have this pre-9/11 offensive special operations capability that was not used, and that's the question of why wasn't it? Why didn't we use lethal force once these guys were identified as with direct links to Al-Qaeda leadership, which they were completely pinned down and linked to bin Laden in early 2000 and 2001, January 2001. Hugh Shelton was briefed on this at the Pentagon, and nothing happened after that. And that's the mystery. Why didn't anything happen after this was ready to go, ready to roll to stop Al-Qaeda in January of 2001? It was put on the shelf. We were disbanded and told to not talk about it. And that's one of the things still resolved.
So it gets put on the shelf. Now, you mentioned this to Louis Freeh, and I know that you also, at one point, even after all of this took place, obviously the attacks take place, you end up going down range, you're doing other things. But when the commission stood up, you actually came forward and spoke to the head of the commission. Tell me, what did the 9/11 Commission do with this? Because I've read that report. We've all seen copies of it. I don't remember seeing a single page about this.
Right. Well, one of the reasons it's not in here is I put a chapter in Operation Dark Heart, which is my time in Afghanistan. The reason they went after this book with all the redactions that are in it, I believe, was because of the meeting with Phil Zelikow in October of 2003 at Bagram. We sat down and we were asked to give our recollections to the 9/11 Commission members. The staff was there, Zelikow being the staff director. I told them in no uncertain terms about what Able Danger was, what its objectives were, what we were able to accomplish, and how we did it. About a 2-page summary. And Zelikow was flabbergasted, was stunned, said that they wanted to get more information on this and asked me to meet with them in Washington when I got back after my undercover tour in Afghanistan. And of course, next thing I know, I'm back in the United States, January 2004, and instead of wanting to see me, Jack, the 9/11 Commission said, we don't want to see you now, we got all we need. And next thing you know, I'm under investigation, suspended, and the rest is history. Essentially, when I became a whistleblower, they were in the process of trying to fire me and get rid of me, I believe, to shut me up. And obviously that didn't happen because our mutual friend and someone you worked for, Congressman Kurt Weldon, got wind of this when I was attached to the Navy in 2005, when the Navy was trying to rebuild, God bless them, via their internal think tank, via Deep Blue, internal Pentagon think tank. They were trying to rebuild this, and an Army guy, was sent over to the Hill, to Capitol Hill, to ask for money on behalf of the Navy to rebuild the able danger capability. And that's how Kurt Weldon came into helping out on getting this out to the American public.